Okay, guys. So to begin, I'm going to show you a series of videos and pictures, and all I ask is that you just kind of think about how they all make you feel. All right, so the first one is an audio clip. So just listen to the audio and think about how it makes you feel. Okay. The second one is just a picture, but I want you to think about the smell that would come from this picture. Okay, so think about the scent that you would smell. Okay, the third one is another audio. Okay, this one is another one about kind of just a whole sensory experience. So think about the smells, the different sights, the different feelings. And then we have one more audio clip. All right, so take a second and just kind of think about what you're coming to class with today. So, which sensory experience best describes your day that you've had today? So, you have the first one, which is the sound of the storm. The second is the smell of the cookies. The third is the sound of the door. The fourth is the smell or just any part of being at the ocean. And then five is the sound of a bustling crowd. Okay, so on the count of three, you can hold up the number on your fingers. Okay, so one, two, three.
Wait, wait, guys, I'm between two though.
Lauren, would you like to share why you're between two?
Yes, I would. Well, honestly, it was a very hustling, bustling day at school, so that's what the fifth one reminded me of. But like this is really cheesy. The cookies one was like homey, and it also kind of felt a little bit homey to be back with everyone. So that's why I was between two.
Lovely. And I see the rest of us had a bit of a bustling day. Well, hopefully we can relax a little bit with our time together. So during the course of this lesson, we're going to be using a Padlet. So you should already have the link, but I will send the link again just in case in the chat. So it's just went in the chat for you. All right, so you're going to see a prompt at the very top. You'll see that there's two different prompts. I ask that you respond to the first one right now. So it says, what are some emotional memories that you have? So I put two. I am sharing my screen if you don't know how to use this. Can you guys see this, my screen? Okay, so you're going to press this little plus button right here to add a prompt of your own. It's going to take you right here, and you're going to answer the question. So my examples were the sound of a ticking clock making me nervous because it reminds me of a deadline, and the smell of pasta sauce that reminds me of my mom because she always makes homemade sauce. So you can go ahead and one or two, nothing crazy, any emotional memory you have.
You get to make memes.
You can just make it your name.
Unfortunately, I did not do that.
That's okay. All right. These look great. So, as you can see, memories are really strongly tied to emotions, and that's kind of what we're talking about today. Can you all see the presentation again? Okay, great. All right, so what is memory? So, memory is the process of acquiring, storing, retaining, and retrieving information. And it provides us with information to guide our actions in the present. So, it takes information from the past so we can make informed decisions about today. So, we encode our memories, which is kind of when they happen at the first time. Then we store them, and then we can later retrieve them so that we can use them, and it helps us to preserve and recover our information. And there's some main parts of the brain where this happens. So the first one is called the hippocampus, and this is deep inside your temporal lobe in your brain, which is on the sides here. And this is what's really connected to sensations. And so when you were just recalling those emotional memories, when you were listening to the sounds and thinking of smells, you're using your hippocampus to associate things you've experienced in the past with what's currently happening. So, for example, I know Maggie, you said about the smell of pumpkins reminds you of your grandmother, I think it said, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So you're taking that past association, and now when you smell it in the present, it brings you back to that memory. And so, yeah, that is your hippocampus. The other part of your brain that helps with memory is called the amygdala. Now, your amygdala also helps to kind of attach emotions, but the amygdala can be very irrational and spontaneous. So, this is what's involved in your kind of fight or flight response. It's not really those peaceful memories, it's more triggering a emotional response. So, the amygdala can be very quick to react, and it can also translate into fear. So, just really quickly, is anyone willing to share something that they're afraid of? Go
I'm
ahead.
afraid of falling.
Falling. That's a
Yeah.
like from a high place.
Just in general, just falling, tripping,
Gotcha.
anything, just ending up on the ground.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'm afraid of riding a roller coaster and the seat unbuckling or some sort of accident happening where I fall off and die.
Right. Lots of lots of fears of falling. Um, just again, real quick, what do we think the top five most common phobias are? You can just
Height,
go out. Heights,
Spiders,
spiders.
I was gonna say
death,
spiders.
Wait, okay. Two for
water.
death.
death. Good.
Um,
You only got one of the top five.
Heights. I'm like,
So the top
Yes.
five are arachnophobia, which is spiders,
yeah.
glossophobia, which is the fear of public speaking, ophidiophobia, which is the fear of snakes, mysophobia, which became very, very popular in 2020. Anyone know what it is?
germs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And cynophobia, which is the fear of dogs.
Really, dogs? How
Yeah.
Then
many
why'd you
people
use a
are
German
afraid of dogs?
Shepherd?
So your amygdala associates these emotions that you have towards these things that are deemed scary. And when you see them then in the present, it pulls from that past memory to spark that fight or flight response. So, some of the other things that are associated with memory would be your frontal lobe. And I'm sure we've all heard that this doesn't fully develop until you're 25. This is going to be the more rational part of your brain. So, this is going to take, instead of going right into fight or flight or right into an emotional response, like the amygdala and the hippocampus, this is going to be able to think more clearly. And so, yes, that doesn't completely happen until you're a little bit older, which is why younger people tend to have more of an emotional response to things. Your temporal lobe, which is going to be again right on the sides there, that's going to be more for long-term memory and recall. So that's what we're going to really want to strengthen in order to keep our memory strong. So, why is memory even important? Okay, memory is what allows us to have our sense of self. It allows us to learn new things and function on the daily, problem solving, decision making. It allows us to take what we've experienced in the past and make informed decisions about our present and our future. So, it's really, really important to keep your memory strong. So, the ways to do this are to avoid stress, avoid drugs and alcohol and other toxins. Those chemicals are going to disrupt the connections that are being built with your neurons. Get enough exercise and sleep. Exercise is going to increase circulation and get more oxygen to your brain. And sleep is actually when new information moves into long-term memory. So, if you want to really process things, you got to get enough sleep and also to stimulate your brain. So, again, use it or lose it. So, doing puzzles and even just the Wordle every day is enough to try to help to stimulate your brain. So, last thing you're going to do for me is a little exit ticket. So, if you want to head back to that Padlet, same link, that last little goal there. It says, what is your personal goal for strengthening your memory? And you can go ahead and pop in a little goal for me. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but you can take something from our list before and tell me something that you think you can improve in your daily life. My example is there for you if you need help. All right, and so as responses are rolling in, I will stop sharing my screen. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I forgot how exercising can strengthen your memory.
So it's going to help to increase circulation to your brain and get extra oxygen up there. And oxygen is what your brain needs to be able to produce ATP and energy and just be able to do all the things it needs to do.
That makes sense. Thank you.
All right. Well, that's it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.